Rahul ji has been the darling of the congressmen and congresswomen, and this is yet another step in his quest for serving the people.
जब शाहजहां की जगह पे औरंगजेब आए, तब क्या कोई इलेक्शन हुआ था?
It's an internal matter, party elections. Narendra Modi can't make any comment on that.
They have orchestrated and good play. It's not a election, it's a nomination process.
राहुल जी ये जिम्मेवारी संभाल रहे हैं एक ऐसे समय में जब देश के सामने और कांग्रेस के सामने बड़ी चुनौतियां हैं।
कांग्रेस बोझा बन चुकी है देश के लिए। राहुल गांधी के आने के बाद ये बोझा अपने आप समाप्त हो जाएगा।
चाहे वो युवा पीढ़ी में हो, चाहे वो किसी और भी उम्र के वर्ग में हो, उन सब का इस्तेमाल राहुल जी करेंगे, इसका हमें पूरा विश्वास है।
100 भेड़ों के आगे एक शेर लगाओ तो भेड़ें शेर हो जाती हैं, और 100 शेरों के आगे एक भेड़ लगा दो तो शेर ढेर हो जाते हैं। यहाँ शेर नहीं, बब्बर शेर कर देगा। बात खत्म है।
Well, 13 years after becoming a member of parliament, Rahul Gandhi is now taking on the position that he was hoping to or reluctant to take on for a while. But what exactly does brand Rahul stand for? To discuss all of that and more, joining us on this special panel today are our eminent guests from the Congress Party. The spokesperson of the Congress Party, Salman Soz, joins us. Also with us, Santosh Desai, a veteran of the advertising and brand industry, also an author himself, Aarti Ramachandran, who has actually written a book on Rahul Gandhi, Decoding Rahul Gandhi. And of course, with us is A.K. Bhattacharya, editorial director of the Business Standard. Appreciate you joining us here on the program. Salman Soz, if I could start with you. I don't want this to become a show about name calling. I want this to be about a show where we can actually understand what brand Rahul Gandhi stands for, what is going to be the position of the Congress Party under Rahul Gandhi. I want to pick up on your tweet, Salman. So as you say, for years, the RSS and BJP have unleashed a calculated and malicious propaganda against Rahul Gandhi, but he's fought them with tenacity and dignity. The Prime Minister and trolls and turncoats are a frustrated lot by his rising popularity. You cannot keep a good man down. While there is some merit and some truth to the argument that you make in your tweet, Salman Soz, the fact of the matter is that Rahul Gandhi hasn't actually helped his own case much. He's been inconsistent, he's been erratic. We don't really know what the real Rahul Gandhi stands for. If you look at his record in Parliament, over the last 3 years, at best a parliamentary attendance of about 54%. Over the last 3 years, participated in about 11 debates. Who is the real Rahul Gandhi? Are we going to see now much more consistency from your leader?
I think Rahul Gandhi is a leader who has evolved over time. He's not superhuman, he's human. And that's what you see. He doesn't pretend to be a godlike character like some other people do. I think he's gone through a journey which has, in my opinion, been an extremely tough one, from personal circumstances, extremely tough, and then has taken on some of the best shots that the RSS and the BJP could throw at him over time, as you know, everybody knows, and he's still standing there. If you talk about what the brand is about, the brand is about, his vision is about an inclusive India. His vision is about a shared prosperity. We cannot grow this country. We cannot talk about development. We cannot talk about progress if you don't carry everybody along. And for that, you need to decentralize. You need to empower people. You need to kind of take new ideas in.
Why fall to the bait? Why then this conversation around a Janeu Dhari Hindu and so on and so forth? If, as you just told us on the program, Rahul Gandhi stands for an inclusive India, Rahul Gandhi stands for shared prosperity, then why fall for the age-old trap of going down the same caste politics route and using religion?
Rahul Gandhi has been consistently talking about the issues that face Gujaratis right now, and there are future challenges coming up. But at the same time, there's a whole fake news industry going around, and the thing is, on the one hand, you can kind of keep quiet about things and let things go. On the other hand, you also have to sometimes take on this fake news, because you know this is a day of information kind of flow, and there's so much information flow. People don't have time to really go after what's the truth. So at some point, we have to also correct people's perception, because perception can become reality.
A.K. Bhattacharya, let me ask you, sir. You know, today a lot of Congress politicians, a lot of Congress leaders tweeting, saying that this is the dawn of a new era. Is it really?
Well, you know, to the extent that, you know, the functioning of any democracy gets stronger with a vibrant opposition. And unfortunately, the last 3.5 years of the BJP government at the center, we haven't seen any opposition worth its name. So to the extent that you have a Congress rallying around a leader who is trying to articulate something at least, even though, as you rightly pointed out, that he is probably barking at the wrong trees by visiting temples and establishing his credentials as a Brahmin through his Janu of sorts. So I think to the extent that he presents for the first time in the 3.5 years, the opposition is presenting a leader as an alternative is good for India's democracy.
Okay.
Having said that, let me also say that so far, Mr. Gandhi is yet to articulate either his political philosophy or his economic philosophy, which his voters would like to support him for. So therefore, I'm yet to hear from Mr. Rahul Gandhi what he is talking about. You know, when if he is only reacting to the policies of the government, I don't think that will be enough. If the functioning of a democracy has to get better, you need an opposition leader who articulates his own policies, his own ideas. For example, when he said in California, he talked about the medium and small enterprises will be his great focus. Now, he needs to outline it and really sort of expand that thought to say that in what way his idea of SME is better than Make in India. So instead of just saying it's a Gabbar Singh tax, he may as well give us a an outline of what his GST would like to be. So therefore, I think we need more such statements which are, instead of just being reactive, instead of proactive statements of what his economic vision is going to be about. I think that will help and make India's democracy stronger.
You're absolutely right, and I'll put that point to Salman Soz in just a bit, that, you know, we need to know the specifics. We need to know what is his plan, not merely how he intends to attack the BJP, but what does he stand for. But Santosh Desai, if I may come to you, you know, we've heard several times over, whether it's from Salman Soz or even from what AKB just said, and privately people will tell you this in conversations, that he's well-meaning, he's well-intentioned, he's earnest, and so on and so forth. But, you know, let's look at it from a brand perspective. Let's look at it from a position perspective. This is a marketplace that is dominated by one leader, by a brand that so far has had no challenge over the last few years since Narendra Modi came to power in 2014. If you're up against that, you know, a brand of that stature, without a clear position, where are you hoping to get?
No, that's absolutely true. You know, I think certainly there is, you know, with his coming to this position of president, there is greater clarity in the Congress. This should have happened long back, but anyway, it's happened now. But really, I mean, in a situation like this, unless you provide a strong counterpoint to what is currently the dominant political figure, and that counterpoint must, you know, must work at both levels. At the level of content, which is the message, what do you stand for? As A.K. Bhattacharya just said, you know, what is your philosophy? And that is far from clear. And the other is in terms of persona, that the idea of, you know, the Modi, the persona is about a certain amount of decisiveness. There is a sense of clarity and an aura of being larger than life and being able to take difficult calls. The Rahul Gandhi persona, on the other hand, is you know, in the best of times, of an earnest learner, you know, who is well-meaning, well-intentioned, the rest of it, but it is a far cry from being somebody who today people will trust their futures to. So I think it is true that there is, you know, as against the last year or so, you know, when he was actually a punchline, really, I think he has, you know, come a long way. But I think it's a far cry still from being a credible alternative currently. And for that, he needs to do both things, both in terms of persona as well as in terms of what he represents and stands for. Both need to be shaped and articulated much more strongly than what they are currently.
Aarti, let me take that point across to you, because when you wrote your book, Decoding Rahul Gandhi, which was a few years ago, you said that brand Rahul Gandhi is somewhat confused. Has that changed, or would you agree with Santosh Desai that, you know, we still don't see a real credible alternative, even though there might have been a change in Rahul Gandhi over the past 12 months, or at least the public perception of Rahul Gandhi seems to have improved in the last 12 months. But do you believe that Rahul Gandhi, the brand, stands a little less confused today?
Yeah, I think Rahul Gandhi as a brand has emerged in the last few weeks. I mean, that's not very long in the life of any brand. So it is yet to really solidify. But from where he was earlier, definitely there is a little more clarity, and we see a clearer picture of who this person could be in a few years down the line. But having said that, I think the branding is also at the level of how do you see yourself as a party? How does the Congress brand itself through Rahul Gandhi? And that is the second level of branding which is happening here. And I think this is a very anachronistic you know, branding strategy, where you have, you know, someone taking over, you know, the Congress as a dynast. And though Rahul Gandhi tried very hard to, through his initial work with the Youth Congress and the Students' Wing, he tried to bring about, at least in the optics of it, some change. But we see that, you know, that whole thing just has fallen flat. And today, you know, yes, there is at one level a political maturity in accepting that, yes, I am, you know, the next Gandhi, and I can keep the party together. But the optics of it, as it plays out today, we see this Congress party, you know, is presenting an alternative to Narendra Modi. And, you know, what can it do? It can only go as far as offer you another Gandhi. I think so. I think there is a problem in that, and I don't think this branding problem is going to go away for the Congress party.
No, it's not. So, Salman, so you've heard what our other panelists have had to say, and let's start with the point that Aarti was just making there. And this is often being asked of Congress leaders: is there a future for the Congress party minus the Gandhi family, beyond the Gandhi family? I mean, today it's Rahul Gandhi that's been elevated, but what about things like the organizational cadre? What about things like, what is the philosophy of the Congress party? How does it reinvent itself as a political outfit? The space that you've abdicated has been taken over by the Aam Aadmi Party, for instance, in a state like Delhi. So what is the Congress plan as far as reinventing itself is concerned, or are you tied only to the fortunes of the Gandhi family?
Look, elections have happened in the Congress party in the past as well. Nobody is barred from contesting. All you need to do is be a delegate and get 10 more delegates to offer your name. And that's the way the Congress party works. But nobody has done that. Everybody knows that, look, everybody knows that he's the most popular. Most people are with him. Pretty much almost everybody's with him.
Forget the Democrat versus dynast argument. It is Rahul Gandhi. Let's be clear about that. Let's talk about how Rahul Gandhi is going to reinvent the Congress party, because the Congress party at this point in time finds itself like a brand which is stuck in the middle. And most brands that find themselves stuck in the middle are brands that nobody wants.
This is not a contest between Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi. This is a contest of ideas for this country. I don't want to get into the debate of whether GST is good or bad, but I can tell you that when you're formulating policies, the Congress party, with its experience, I firmly believe this, can come up with the policies that can be implemented, that can be beneficial to the people of this country. You know, we can talk about, you and I and others on the panel can talk about ease of doing business, for example. I'm just taking an example. We tend to focus on rules and regulations and all that, but we never talk about human development. What your labor force is going to be like. How do you actually focus on health and education so that we have a healthy and well-educated and skilled labor force, because that is also part of ease of doing business. A broader paradigm. When Rahul Gandhi talks about small and medium-scale industries, he's not saying that, oh, by the way, the bigger corporates, we're just going to abandon them. No. Rules have to be, there has to be a level playing field for everybody.
Let's talk about specifics that you just articulated for us. You said it's a party about ideas. It's a party that believes in shared prosperity, human development. You know, for instance, Mr. Gandhi was publicly against big business. There has been a change in his position over the past few years, but we're not clear about what that position really stands for. What does he stand for when he says that he wants to support the SMEs? He was the same guy who said that he was the Sipahi in Niyamgiri against Vedanta. So what does the economic ideology of Rahul Gandhi stand for?
I think what he... Look, he's not against big business the way we talk about big business. He's against cronyism. You have fewer people with a lot more money in the country, and by the way, when we talk about big business, there are just 10, 20, 30 big businesses, but there are other big businesses. What we do not want is concentration of wealth in this country.
It's rich for the Congress to talk about cronyism, especially what happened in UPA too. But let me get back to our other panelists. And A.K. Bhattacharya, you had some elements of what we should expect from Rahul Gandhi, if that is what Salman Soz seems to be articulating on this program. Do you believe that that he's going to be able to tap into the dissonance that seems to be coming up at this point in time, whether it is with the GST, whether it is with demonetization, whether it is the SMEs who feel that they haven't been given their due? Do you believe that this is enough ammunition to be able to tap into that dissonance?
Well, I personally feel yes. I think there is enough dissonance in the rollout of the many economic policies of this government. It is possible to tap into that, but then you need to have your own strategy, your own action plan of what you need to do. Now, if you look back in time, Mr. Rahul Gandhi has been the vice president of this party since January 2013. Now, almost 5 years are going to be over, but we still do not know what is his economic vision. Now, Rajiv Gandhi, he didn't have so much time when he was blooded into the system, but quickly we realized that what Rajiv Gandhi stood for, he stood for computerization, he stood for decentralized governance structures. When Sonia Gandhi was made president of this party in 1998, we quickly knew that she believes in entitlement politics. So, in my view, it is now overdue to know what Mr. Rahul Gandhi stands for. Now, it is not enough to say that GST needs to be capped at 18%. Or, for example, now do we need to know that what is his position on industrialization? What is his position on job creation? Now, what is his position on entitlement politics versus rights politics? So, these are the very major issues. For example, what is his policy? How does he want to bring about a change in the human development index? So now education as well as healthcare. Now these are areas that need to be tapped and need to be promoted. But we still don't have a blueprint of Rahul Gandhi's game plan on what he needs to do. So therefore, I will come back to my earlier point that we don't need a leader of his stature to react to what the government does, but instead actually outline what he needs to do and what you can take India to a next level of economic development, in that way. So therefore, I think that's the way forward.
Okay. All right, we'll take a quick break, but when we return, we continue to talk about brand Rahul and what will be the next course of evolution. That and more when we return. Stay on with us.